All right, I think I'm streaming. I'm gonna start recording now.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Dropping the mask we wear day to day, building real trust in a brand new way. For a deeper connection, let's explore on transparent conversations. Transparent conversations, where every word can open doors. Transparent conversations.
Hey, welcome back to Transparent Conversations.
Let's talk about
Elevated
Dropping the
Exchanges.
mask we wear day to day,
Wow.
building real trust
That
in a brand.
So welcome back to Transparent Conversation, Elevated Exchanges. I am your host, Calvin, or CPJR, or CPJR 300 if you feel me. It is Wednesday night, July 17th, and I'm here back once again on my YouTube channel, on my Substack, talking about politics. That's the only thing I could talk about these days, and it's getting very interesting. A lot of things are happening. So welcome back. If you've been here before, if you're a subscriber, I have a 121 subscribers now on YouTube and 60 subscribers on Substack. So I appreciate every one of you. And if you like what I do, please take some time to like, share, subscribe, so that other people can find this, and maybe this will grow. Well, this will grow, and then I could do some more things I have planned to do. So I really appreciate you. So let's get started. Let's talk about what's been happening. So today, supposedly we have a memorandum of understanding. We don't have I don't think we've actually seen it yet, right? We only have what's been leaked out. It's a very good deal for Iran. And like I've always said before, it really doesn't matter because Israel has already said they are not going to leave. They're not going to leave Lebanon. They think it's a bad deal for them. It's already come out that what they wanted to do was, and they thought they could decapitate or kill the head of the country, and then the country would rise up and take over, and I guess then they would subdue I don't know what Israel wanted, but it wasn't going to happen. They're upset that they are still in power. They're, the son of the Ayatollah is now the Ayatollah, and they're very upset about that. They're very upset that there's even a ceasefire. So we'll see what happens with that. I have no faith that Israel is anywhere near ready for peace. They don't want peace for people that they view as inferior on their land and may want to kill them. I've listened to the rhetoric over the last couple of days, and it is very, very it's bad. It's really bad. And I'll tell you about some interactions I've had with some Zionists on Instagram that I did not even want to have. They are very interesting. So, but first I want to talk about our local elections, and our early voting primary ends tomorrow, and then I'm in Maryland, and then the actual primaries on Tuesday. I'm not a Democrat, so we don't have open elections, so I can't participate. And I was actually almost, I'm gonna tell you about an incident that happened. It's gonna be on the first video, but I was almost thinking about registering as a Democrat because in this state, the way it is, this state is 50% white, 30% black, and then Asian, Latino, Native American, right? And then other. So pretty much, it's very blue. So pretty much I have a blinking red light. Pretty much after the, I lost my train of thought. After the primaries, that's pretty much it. It'll be that'll be who will be in office. There won't be much chance of a of a Republican upsetting a Democrat, not in this election cycle, I don't think. So pretty much, like I said, after the primaries, that'll be who will eventually take office after the midterms in November. So, and it's been interesting. I've never really paid that much attention to our local elections because I'm always pretty much going to vote Democrat, right? Previously we've had Larry Hogan, a Republican, for governor. This is the first time we have a black Democrat, Wes Moore, in office, and he was doing a pretty good job. But something happened, right? So let me take you to the first video. So something happened, and I found out, this was yesterday, I found out that who Wes Moore was endorsing for the Steny Hoyer's old seat in the 5th Congressional District. Steny Hoyer is retiring, and now his seat is up for grab. There are various different Democrats running for the election. I've already talked about Adrian Boafo is running for this seat, and he is a corporate AIPAC Dem down to everything. I've seen interviews with him. The question I said that you should ask these candidates if you see them is ask them how they feel about the situation in Gaza. And I saw a video where someone asked him that question. He referred the matter to the ICC, and then he also said he is not intelligent enough or smart enough to weigh in on that. And that's very strange because he's heavily AIPAC backed. I'm sure that he hasn't raised any local money. All the money he has comes from PACs. This young lady on Instagram has been doing a very good job of keeping up where his money's coming from, and it's coming from AIPAC and crypto PACs. Now, I'm going to play this first video, and then we'll talk about it.
Once again, I am reporting on super PAC spending because they just will not stop. So Protect Progress, the crypto PAC, has decided that they're going to spend another $270,000 to help Adrian Boafo. They have a media buy here. They have more mail because you need more mail. And it looks like they did some kind of production for, I'm assuming, a commercial. Then they also have decided now to go negative. They have spent $73,000 to go negative on Harry Dunn. And I find that quite interesting considering Harry Dunn has not attacked Adrian Boafo, but Quincy is attacking him nonstop. She has multiple digital ads.
Adrian Boafo. Boafo, bad for Maryland and bad for us.
I'm Quincy Berebe, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Harry Jaron is also attacking Adrian Boafo. He sent this mailer today. Look at, we got Trump there. Don't vote for Adrian Boafo. See, this is his mailer. But they are attacking Harry Dunn. And as I have said all along, all this spending is about Harry Dunn. They are scared of him. So their polls must look like shit. Let's be real. Something in the polls is showing that he is very close. Mind you, there is no real polling in this race, at least from outside independent pollsters. We only have internal polls. But what's weird about this is that there was a poll that this PAC put out and they showed Harry Dunn at 5%. Why would you be attacking the person at 5%? I mean, I need people to use a little bit of discernment here. I can see what's happening online. People are talking about Harry Dunn. And we know y'all are scared of him. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the voters. The voters are going to have to decide how they want to deal with this race. Do you want to vote for Adrian Boafo? Do you want to vote for Walla? Do you want to vote for Quincy? Or are we going to consolidate around Harry? Because this is real sus. So if you get a mailer and it's negative on Harry, just know it was from these people.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not in Harry Dunn's district. What is going on there?
Dropping the mask we wear day to day, building real trust in a brand new way. For a deeper connection,
Wow. Okay, I have a problem. I don't know what that's happening. I think I know what's happening. Yeah, I do. I do change that. I think I did change that. Okay, so anyway, I endorse Harry Dunn. Harry Dunn was the Capitol Hill officer during the riot. He was very prominent during the riot. He was the guy, if you remember, if you watched it, I was watching it as it happened. He was the guy who like took his stick, bounced on the floor, and then he was running away. But he was actually leading the rioters away from the chamber where the congressmen were. So he's a very brave man and stood his ground that day and definitely kept a lot of people probably from getting hurt. Luckily, in that whole thing, I think the luckiest thing of that day, January 6th, is that they didn't actually get their hands on any congressmen. They couldn't get their hands on it because, I think most of them left through a tunnel, and then the ones that were in the chamber, that's where the Bobbitt person, she got shot because she was coming through the door. They didn't have enough officers in there to protect the congressman there, so of course they had to shoot. There was nothing else to do to stop those people. And definitely when he shot, they stopped coming in or there'd have been more bodies. So I commend that officer for that. And I definitely support Harry Dunn being winning the primary and being elected to that seat. It'll be good to have a progressive in there because we don't have many progressives in Maryland. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. So I did have an interaction with that young lady from the video on that one because I found out yesterday for the first time who our governor, Wes Moore, who he was supporting. And Wes Moore endorsed Adrian Boafo and also Glenn Ivey. Both of those, Glenn Ivey is from my district. If he wins the nominee, I will not be voting for him. And Harry Dunn is from Adrian Boafo is from the 5th, and he's running against Harry Dunn and the other young lady. So Quincy, I think it was. So that was interesting to me to. It actually took me back a little bit when I first found out that he was endorsing those candidates because they're AIPAC back, and that it also Angela Alsobrook, the other senator. We have Chris Van Hollen, that's my man, and then we have Angela Alsobrook. That's the other senator. She's heavily AIPAC back, and she also endorsed Adrian Boafo. So that was telling that, and I had to sit with that for a minute, right? I actually commented on her post because I really didn't. Not that I didn't understand it, is that I haven't seen anyone really address that. So my comment was, Governor Wes Moore and Angela Alsobrook endorsed Adrian Boafo. They all support AIPAC. They haven't endorsed any progressive candidates. I'm an independent or Democrats. Please do the right thing. Her response to me was like, everything's not about AIPAC. So that was kind of, that really set me back a little bit because for me, everything is about AIPAC, right? It's about a genocide. It is about a country leading us into war, a country that is hell bent on, they call it defense, but they are hell bent on attacking as many countries in the Gulf as they can. They really want to subdue the Gulf. They want to rule the Gulf. They think that it's their land and they have the God-given right as the chosen people to rule over that land. Let's just say that. Let's just say it as it is. And for a long time, the entire world has been helping them be the biggest bully on the block. And now the chickens have come home to roost. They are committing a genocide against the Gazans, and then they're committing a genocide. Now they're moving it to Lebanon. They have a vision of a greater Israel, and it is parts of Syria, parts of Lebanon. I don't know what other parts. It's just Gaza, West Bank, all that. They want everything, and based on some promise they got from their myth. So we don't believe in myths over here, so that's not going to work. But so I have a problem with a governor, my governor, that would endorse someone who is directly supported by AIPAC, and then everybody, everyone that is, watching this, we know that he's endorsing that person. So her response to me was kind of off-putting about it not being all about AIPAC. She's more concerned about the other PACs and getting the seat, right? That's cool. I understand that. But I'm still going to speak up about the fact that he's AIPAC. Our governor endorsed him. Then I thought more about Wes Moore. I do like the governor. He's been a very good governor. Standing up to Trump, making sure things get done. I know he's going to stand up to Trump when it comes to the voting on the midterms and then 2028. Not concerned about that. I am concerned about him endorsing candidates, and a lot of our people that represent Maryland are backed by AIPAC. I don't know how that happened. I already said before that I think that this is a low information voter state or low state. People don't really pay attention to what's going on. I didn't. I'm going to be honest about that. I didn't, because I didn't understand everything that was going on until, first year Trump, first term for Trump, second term from Trump, we got a problem. And the problem isn't just MAGA, and it's not just the Republicans. It is the Democratic Party being funded mainly by AIPAC. So here's the deal. I've already told this before. If you run for office and you're funded by AIPAC, you don't have to, campaign. You don't have to raise money. Harry Dunn, according to what I've seen, that he's raised $4 million from just paying $200 donations. I'm going to pay a video on that too. Just, getting the little donations, number one, $200 from the constituents in Maryland and, probably some businesses too. But the max of his donations were $200. So he is a grassroots progressive to me, someone who's going to represent the people. Now, it's telling to me that our governor doesn't see that as a, hold on one second. It's telling me that the governor doesn't really see that as something to support, because he hasn't endorsed any grassroots candidates. But I'm thinking about him now more. He's a centrist or a liberal, meaning that he's going to keep the system running, right? He doesn't seem like he wants to really, push it forward. Just want to maintain the status quo, and that's what you get when you vote for PAC or corporate-backed candidates who are heavily influenced by, like I said, outside money. Now, I don't know how you work with those people, right? People like Glenn Ivey. I already know what his deal is. It's the church, and I've seen pictures of all in the church together. So I kind of know if you do that around here, you're gonna really you're gonna bring the churches in. They are all about their God and supporting God, and then that leads over into the myth of Israel, and Israel must be there for their Jesus to come back. That's heavy and that's strong in this population. They believe in God, they believe in Israel. So they probably don't have a problem with it, but people are waking up. Like, I have seen protests in Maryland against Boafo, and they're saying no AIPAC money should be put into our elections. So I had to write my thoughts down. I haven't written in a while, but I had to write my thoughts down to make sure I communicate this clearly and without any doubt as to what I'm trying to say. So this is what I wrote. It'll be posted on my Substack. I have become completely disillusioned with Maryland politics. One of our current U.S. senators and the majority of our representatives in the House are corporate Democrats, heavily backed by AIPAC. But it gets worse. In the race for Maryland's 5th Congressional District, AIPAC and other corporate PACs are pouring massive amounts of money behind Adrian Boafo. Fortunately, the word is out. People are finally waking up to the threat AIPAC poses to our democratic process, and strong grassroots candidates like Harry Dunn are running viable campaigns against this corporate influence. Yet, our state leadership remains out of touch. Governor Wes Moore has explicitly endorsed Adrian Boafo as well as Glenn Ivey for before his congressional reelection bid, both of whom receive immense backing from AIPAC. Does this mean our state government now explicitly aligns itself with the ongoing devastation and genocide in Gaza and Lebanon? You have to answer that question for yourself. For me, the conclusion is unavoidable. We all see the reality of what's happening in the Middle East at this point. Accepting their money makes you complicit in the murder of the children in Gaza and Lebanon. That's how I stand on it. I will not vote for Governor Wes Moore again, and I will not vote for Adrian Boafo if he wins the election. I mean, the primary, which I hope he probably won't, or Glenn Ivey. I will not vote for anyone that is complicit in the ongoing genocide being perpetrated by the Israelis in the Middle East. That's it. Okay, I'm glad I got that done. And I would like to know how you feel about that also. This is a discussion I think that we in Maryland need to really have. People were also chiming in on that post, saying things like they're having a hard time too. Like they don't understand. They're thinking about not voting for Wes Moore. He's up for election. I'm not going to do it. I just can't do it. I can't see it. Once I see something, I can't unsee it. And I cannot unsee how the Zionists behave. And it actually hit me on another post. I was talking to, I posted that video last week of the guy who was burning the Israeli-American flag and stomping on it. And then I think I posted something. And then somebody tagged me in the post, in the comments, with October 7th, directly towards me, right? So I responded back, 50,000 children have been killed in Gaza by you genocidal savages, right? The response to me was, well, they grow up. Well, they grow up. And that is the same thing I've heard other Israelis say about the children. They believe that they're justified in killing children because they will grow up to be, I don't know, enemies. I don't know what they believe, but they have said over and over again that children grow up. And then we have to deal with them then, so they might as well just kill them now. And that's the attitude of the Zionists in Israel. So that's what when you endorse someone who gets money from those people, that's what you stand for. And the blood is on your hands. All right. All right, I'm done with that. I just had to put that on record for myself, so I know that I will be on the right side of history, and I will no longer support genocide from anyone, any candidate at all. And I was having an issue with that. I've been talking about it for a while. Like, what are we going to do? Because most of these, Jamie Raskin gets money from Israel. So most of these candidates, the Democratic Party is a problem. I've been saying that for a while now, because they seem to not. I don't know if they're going to wake up, right? I don't know if they're going to wake up. I don't know if they are fine with taking that money. Things are really heating up, especially with the president or that guy in the White House deciding to go for peace and give Iran much of what they want, and Israel is not happy with it. So I don't know what that means. What that means for this country going forward, because you cannot trust them. You cannot trust Israel with this country going forward, because they're upset about it. They are already talking about they're not leaving Lebanon. They have goals to meet, and it's an election. So the majority of the people in Israel seem to really want the war pressed. Or they don't want them to leave Lebanon. They want to keep going, and they seem to think that they're going to be able to take out Iran and take out. They're concerned about them having a nuclear weapon. I said that before. I don't think you can tell another country they can't have a weapon, because if you have the weapon, they should have it too. that we don't have a right to tell other countries what to do. Plus, as I stated before, countries that have nuclear weapons, no one has used them. The only country that has used them is the country that I live in, the United States. So I don't have a problem with another country having the nuclear weapon. If we have one and nobody messes with us, I guess it makes sense that they would want one too, so no one will mess with them. Especially if we're going to lie and cheat and not protect them from a country that seems hell-bent on attacking them. All right. So let's go ahead and watch another video. Where are we going? We're gonna stay in Maryland. I think I'm gonna play a video that I'm all over the place right now. We're gonna play a video that it's gonna talk about. Yeah, I'm gonna meet Harry Dunn.
AIPAC and crypto are spending over $8 million in Maryland. Why? To elect Adrian Boafo in Maryland's 5th Congressional District. Boafo, who's already received a check from Deloitte's corporate PAC and gets 54% of his individual donations in checks over $2,000, is currently favored to win the Democratic primary on June 23rd. This is because super PACs, like Fairshake's crypto super PAC, Protect Progress, have spent almost $5 million in support of Boafo. And United Democracy Project, AIPAC super PAC, has spent almost $3 million in support of Boafo. The good news is Boafo's top challenger might have the cleanest finances I have ever seen. This is Harry Dunn, former Capitol Police officer. He's raised over $4 million. None of that money has come from corporate PACs. 99% of those funds have come from individuals. And 95% of those individual donations are small individual donations coming in at under $200 a donation. That is a higher share of small individual donations than AOC, than Bernie, than basically anyone. And he also does not hold any individual stocks and has taken our political integrity pledge to continue that practice once elected to Congress. And because he's taken the pledge, he gets 10 seconds to say whatever he wants.
Hey, y'all, it's former Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn. Look, I fought against insurrectionists trying to steal our democracy once, and now I'm going to fight against corporate PACs who try to influence elections through spending.
Right on time. Share this video with your friends who live here. The primary is next week, June 23rd. Early voting is open, so make a plan and go vote.
So you only hope he wins. I mean, it's plain as the nose on our faces, plain as day. Who is the candidate who will represent the people of that district, of this state, of this country, and will not bend the knee to Israel and the Zionists of this country, who seem to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. But we have to stand strong, and make sure that we do all we can to meet the problem, because it has to end. It has to end. It can't be my entire life, our entire lives, worrying about what's happening in the Middle East. It cannot continue. If a country wants peace, the country will pursue peace. Seek peace, pursue it. That's from y'all book. Y'all Book of Myths. That's a good saying from that book. But if you don't seek peace, then you'll be constantly at war, and that doesn't make any sense. We know that they won't want peace, because they'll just keep saying, as they always do, Iran wants to destroy us. I haven't heard Iran say that. I hear it from Israel. I haven't heard Iran say much of anything over the last 40 years. Maybe more than 40 years, 1970. I don't know. In the 70s, after the hostage situation, I was in high school. So let's all hope that Harry Dunn wins that race, and we don't end up with another rubber stamp for Israel representing us. Also, if you noticed, he was a lobbyist for Oracle. Oracle is data centers. So another voice for more data centers. And data centers, I think I'm going to dedicate the entire show on Friday to data centers, because they're a problem. I can't believe that, these millionaires and these stock offerings, the IPOs like SpaceX, all this stuff is built on the need for more data centers, and they're putting these data centers next to people's houses, and they're loud and they hum and they heat up, and the water is a problem. They have just stories of buildings burning down because there's no water for the sprinkler systems. It's a problem, and all you hear from the billionaire class or the people that are trying to sell you data centers is that it's going to be great. But they don't have to live next to it, you know? I just saw, before I came on, Elon Musk looking at a $300 million compound in Florida. Maybe it's P. Diddy's. But yeah, that's what's happening. You know, if you become a trillionaire, of course you want a $300 million mansion in Florida. So we'll see how that goes. It's a different world. It's seeming more and more that it's not made for us. I'm gonna play another candidate. I wanted to play this last week. This is a candidate running for Democrat. I forget what state she's running in, but she expresses the problem with the Democratic Party and the DNC in such a succinct way that I hope they wake up before we end up. Because I don't think the midterms are a done deal, right? I believe that Trump could, after this deal is over, he could swing it back his way. You know, or if he dies, he might not be able to. Who knows? But if the oil gets flowing again, things pop up again, start going up again, it could go another way. Because with the way the politics are working with the Democrats, remember, the Democrats lost last time because of the same issue in the Middle East. 90 million people were turned off by that conflict and did not vote. And simply doing the exact same thing you did before, that's me. Like, you can't, insanity is doing the same thing twice and expecting different results. The Democrats seem to be stuck in a rut that they don't understand that they cannot be smarter than their people. Right? Their people want what they want. They didn't want Mondami. The people wanted Mondami. The people got Mondami, and the people are happy. Now, if according to the Democratic Party, the people would have gotten Cuomo, and then what would have happened? It would have been terrible. It was Cuomo. He wasn't a good governor in the first place, right? I think he had a scandal and everything. So it seems to be a problem with the DNC and the Democratic Party. Listening to the people or thinking they know what's the best. And the only problem is they get money from PACs, foreign influence. Now that's a problem, and that will be, that may be our undoing. It'll be on them because they've been on the watch for the last, 10 years. It's been on them. And we've had a terrible 10 years based on them not following through. They didn't follow through on the first impeachment, the second impeachment. They didn't follow through when Biden was in office and prosecute Trump. And now we have to deal with war. We're still at war. There's a memorandum of understanding. Israel said, no, we're not going to accept it. We're not leaving Lebanon. We'll see. What I want is to go to war with Israel. I don't care. Because we're not, this whole thing about a special relationship, they're not an ally, right? Our allies should be honest. They don't admit they have nuclear weapons, right? We still sell them planes. We're not supposed to sell them planes because they're not part of the non-proliferation pact or whatever that thing is. They're not part of that. So it's against the law for us to sell them weapons. So what happens? They just don't say they have a bomb. They don't admit they have a nuclear weapon. So we keep selling them weapons. It's illegal. Our laws are very, very, very not very concrete when it comes to the upper echelon, the foreign people. But we down here, we steal a loaf of bread, you're going to jail. All right, so this is a video I wanted to show. I wanted to see this video. This is a candidate speaking directly to the DNC and the Democratic Party.
Right now, we are at war, not simply because of Donald Trump, nor the bad leadership of Pete Hegseth. It is because Israel requested it. We have AIPAC money corrupting the Democratic Party, not just the Republican Party, and the DNC has failed to call this out. We are in NY12, which has a significant Jewish population that is feeling the effects of anti-Semitism because of the political discourse coming from this war. It is essential that Democrats stand up and make it clear that Israel will not influence our politics. We cannot combine our military with them. We cannot combine our intelligence with them. We should not be partnering on security.
So that's what's going on. I mean, it's that serious. Like the Section 244 and the Defense Reauthorization Act, something like that. This is a serious thing. This is a serious problem. Israel is seriously trying to take control of our military, and now you have staunch MAGA Trump people waking up, and military people start now to admit. Remember, I was asking why we didn't hear about the problem with Israel until now. It's always been a problem, and people have known it, but for some reason, or we know the reason, it wasn't told or wasn't talked about. Because everyone's done with that anti-Semite stuff. You can't. We're done. We're done. No, we're not anti-Semites. We're anti-genocide. We're anti-killing children and women and blowing up cities. Even Trump said today, you blow up the building in Beirut. Why you blow up the building? I mean, if he noticed something like that, you got a problem. Because he don't care. I'm surprised he was woke and saw that. So I want you to show this next guy, Sean Ryan, he was all gung-ho on MAGA and Trump. But now they're watching this and they can't believe it. We should not be wasting all this money on a war that we don't want. And I'm glad. I'm going to tell you this, point blank. I'm happy that Iran got getting their mojo back, getting their sovereignty back, being able to make money from their oil. If you're afraid of them, what did you do? You did something. You should be afraid of them if you did something to them.
There's something pulling the strings, and I think we both know what it is. And
it's Israel.
Yeah, it's Israel.
I don't even care anymore, dude.
Yeah, it's Israel. It's Israel. Our nation has been sold. We are an occupied nation, and I honestly feel like Epstein is tied into that in a million different ways. I was all for Israel. And then, we did the Afghan evacs. We did some conflict evac in Ukraine and some other places. So after October 7th, we did some evacs in Israel. And we tried to do them in Gaza because there's kids starving. And we were all believing Israel's good guys and how horrible this attack that just happened. We're a week, 2 weeks maybe into this, and that meme of the dude saying, "Are we the baddies?"
Are we the baddies?
Starts going around all these signal chats because it's dawning on every one of us in real time. Israel is not who we thought they were.
So that's it though. Like, this is a soldier, and he's trying to evac kids, and they won't let him evac the kids, and they're done. So they know this, right? Our soldiers who are having an interface with Israel out in Gaza. I don't know why they're in Israel. We don't know. I heard we do have soldiers in Israel right now. So they see what's happening with the Israel kids. We also had soldiers in Afghanistan guarding the poppy fields. Soldiers could tell some good stories about how corrupt this country actually is. But so, he saw it. He sees it. He's talking on it. And the guy is like, just say Israel. We're not doing it anymore. We know there's a problem. And that's not going to go back, right? That's not going back in the bottle. That genie's at the bottle. You open Pandora's box. We know who you are. We see you. October 7th, whatever happened there, you can't keep people in an open air prison for years and years and years and expect them not to want to kill you, right? It's their land, and you don't want them to have their land or treat them as equals, and they're going to kill you. They're going to come after you and kill you. So that's not a shocker, right? So I just want to really stay on that theme and show you how things are changing, and I don't think design is here in America. And then the people in Israel understand. They understand what's going to happen, but they think it's going to go back in the bottle, or the genie's going back in the bottle. The genie's not going back in the bottle. No, not for me anyway. And I know for a lot of people, 50,000. I had to look that number up when that person pointed out October 7th to me. And then I had to say 50,000. It was 20,000. No, it's 50,000 children. I don't know how you even live with yourself if you've done that. They seem to have a problem with it. So yeah, let's stick on that theme, and this next one is about just the way people are starting to talk about how we're woke now. We see it now. We don't accept the fact. We don't allow you to tell us what's anti-Semitic anymore. You don't get to do that. If we see a problem, we're going to say what the problem is, and we're going to tell it to your face. And these other countries and municipalities who want to try to put laws against our speech, it doesn't work like that here. We could say what we want to say, as long as we're not talking about harming other people. So if we're calling you out for a genocide, you're genocidal.
I think Zionism, the idea of building a state of Jewish farmers on Arab land in the Middle East, is a stupid idea to begin with. I've always thought so. My mother wanted to go and be a Zionist immigrant at one point. I tried to talk her out of it. It's been a thing in my family. I've always thought it's a silly, messianic, superstitious nationalist idea, and it's a waste of Judaism. And it guaranteed a quarrel with the Arabs because it meant we're going to take away from you what's most precious, your land. Guaranteed an injustice to the Arabs, which now anyone can see, and is now entering its third, fourth generation. Fourth generation of Palestinians brought up either in exile or dispossession or under occupation and humiliation. But it should be a matter of principle. If Jews born in Brooklyn have a right to a state in Palestine, then Palestinians born in Jerusalem have a right to a state in Palestine. Anyone who doesn't agree with that principle, I think, is suspect.
I think most people do.
They do, but why in that case do we have the one and not the other? After all, it's America that pays for all this, and arms the Israelis, and is very much involved.
So that was Christopher Hitchens. Christopher Hitchens is a personal hero of mine. He passed a while ago. He was a well-known atheist. I read like a lot of his books. I didn't even know he was Jewish. I read a lot of his books, and he really helped me. I'm not an atheist anymore, but he helped me understand exactly how I align with my spirituality, and then it helped me really deprogram my mind and actually understand exactly, or help me shape my beliefs, right? My spiritual beliefs. I believe that spirituality is about you, religion is about control, right? Spirituality helps you become a better person. Religion is about a system that wants to control your behavior, which we see. And I don't understand why that's a big mystery to some other people. Because if you look at religion makes laws, right? We got the, and this is another thing that I want to talk about, Judaism and their spirituality. A lot of spiritual Jews, he's Jewish, a lot of Jews are talking about Judaism and how they've corrupted it. And the video before last, the person running for Congress, Laura, I forget her last name, but she's running for Congress, Laura Dunn. Oh, Harry Dunn, Laura Dunn. Yeah, she was saying that, what they're doing is causing anti-Semitism, right? There are real people who are not friends of Jewish people, right? Or the Jewish religion that have all those stereotypes in their head, and that just you're not helping your cause here, and that's what people are calling out. That's what she was calling out by you simply doing, because Zionism is based on a belief that they should be in that land, so they're tying that to their Judaism, right? And that's what's gonna cause a problem, because they're taking that and then they're believing that they can kill anyone in the region that doesn't believe that, right? That is a problem, especially when people who already believe or have personal beliefs that Judaism is evil, and it's not. I've known Jewish people. They're nice people. My best friend, I was growing up was Jew. I'm not gonna. That's stupid. But I don't know. Maybe I discriminate against some people. I don't know. But I don't. Look at me. I'm worried about being called anti-Semitic. It's a terrible thing. And to be a black person who is in a country that pretty much lets me know on a daily basis I'm a second-class citizen, and I'm worried about being called something else when I'm trying to talk gently around another group of people. Anyway, so I don't know. Yeah, Christopher Hitchens helped me out a lot, but just him saying that back then. See, what I was talking about back then is they were not letting us know what was happening in Israel, right? We didn't know, or I didn't know what was happening in Israel, what was the real problem with it. But on the Charlie Rose show, I think Charlie Rose is passed too. Both of them are passed. But on the Tardy Road Show with Christopher Hitchens. I'm bad with names. With Christopher Hitchens. So when they were talking about this exact same problem back then. I'm not sure what year that was, but it had to be a while ago. If you want to really look into, I'm not gonna say atheism, if you want to really read a book about the history of religion and how religion became about, I recommend that book. I recommend Christopher Hitchens. I recommend Richard Dawkins, although he's kind of weird now. And Sam Harris, although he's kind of weird now. I can recommend some other books too. If you really want to, delve into the history of religion, you want to really look into how to develop a spirituality. Like I say, this podcast, Transparent Conversations, Elevated Exchanges, wasn't supposed to be about politics. It's actually supposed to be about spirituality, things like that. And the next series that I was going to do, because my first series I did on ethical non-monogamy, I was actually going to do a series on designing your own religion. Who is Daniel Bolelli? He has a book on that. So I really hope to get back to that soon after we deal with this. After we deal with this crazy person in the office who's trying to destroy the world. I may not be able to get to that because we may not make it. We may not make it. It's really true. All right, here's another video. I think I got a couple more on Israel. And just showing the how the shift is changing because people are waking up, right? People are waking up to what's happening. We see it. That's all I say online. I'm like, we see y'all now. We seen it. It can't be unseen. You can keep saying October 7th all you want. That don't have nothing to do with you blowing up hospitals, schools, churches, complete neighborhoods, bombing Beirut. You're just trying to kill people. You aren't actually going after the actual problems. I know I have a video I need to talk about before I play it. I need to make a disclaimer because it may be kind of rough to watch. I switched to papers. It's kind of still getting used to the new system. I think I want to get a teleprompter. Yeah, I want to get a teleprompter. It'll be a lot easier. I need to get that, and then I can't think of the other thing. All right. So anyway, I'm going to play this next video. It is going to be about something in Israel.
Stop carelessly labeling people anti-Semites. Catholic Christianity does not in any way require you to embrace Zionism as a fulfilled prophecy. So what I've heard today is that if you don't support Zionism, you are an anti-Semite. I'm a Catholic, and Catholics do not embrace Zionism, just so you know. So are all Catholics anti-Semites, according to you?
As I said, anti-Zionism.
So just to be clear, are Catholics anti-Semites?
I'm going to interrupt the discussion. Our committee is focused on religious liberty taken from all people.
Right, but we're talking about a foreign nation, so I want to be clear on what the definition of anti-Semitism is. I don't support the political state of Israel. Am I an anti-Semite? Yes or no?
They already answered. Asked and answered.
According to you, on the record, yes? I don't agree with that because as a Catholic, I don't agree that the new modern state of Israel has any biblical prophecy meaning at all. So that's my stance, and I'm Catholic.
That's the argument, right? That is what's going on right now. They are wanting to force their belief on everyone else. Like, I don't believe in the fact that you have a book that tells you you're supposed to be in that land, and you aren't from that land. You're from Europe. So study that out. Maybe you should. I'm not going to study it out because I don't care. But they came from Europe. And settled in Middle East, and now they're trying to claim all the land there. And then if you don't believe it, if you don't believe in Zionism, meaning that that's their land, you're called an anti-Semite. That's not how the thing works. That's not how it works. The problem is your religion is your religion until it bothers me, right? You could be whatever you want to be. You could be a Christian, Buddhist, whatever. I do not care. Until it bothers me. We don't have a state religion. That people want to say, they keep saying that this is a Christian nation. I'm not a Christian. So what, do I belong here? The Muslims, they don't want the Muslims here. But it's not a Christian nation, but they want to keep saying that. If they actually studied, history, then they would know that this was never meant to be a Christian nation. But you know what? If you want to control a bunch of people, convince them that it is, and then you control them. So that's pretty much what it is. We do not want to buy into your beliefs. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to buy into your beliefs. You can't call me anti-Semitic because I don't buy into your beliefs. It doesn't work that way. I think the next video is going to be kind of rough. So basically, yeah. Okay. Basically, the next video is going to be about, I think it's the next video. Yeah, I think it's going to be about actually what's happening in Gaza, some of the things that happen that may be kind of rough to look at, but it's evidence of things that we don't get to see on a regular basis. We've heard about people being shot, journalists being shot. We've heard about kids being shot. I've seen journalists being targeted and bombed, and we see that on a regular basis. But actually now it's actually coming out more and more about what's happening there. And of course, you won't see it. You won't see it on mainstream in the mainstream news, on CNN, ABC, none of it. You won't see this. They were shooting at journalists.
يلا البيت يلا هاتم صادق.
They shot a journalist because they don't want them to report what's happening, and we've heard that for years and years, but we don't believe them because they tell us that it didn't happen, but it happens. And then the international community has done nothing, but more and more they're starting to stand up. They're starting to take notice, and it's going to change. Now, let's talk about this war. This war, I've been saying it over and over again that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the United States wants peace with Iran. They want to get out of there because it's not a place we should be in. It was an unwinnable fight. There wasn't a fight. There was no way we were going to take over Israel. BB convinced, what's his face, that he can go in, do this one thing, and get out, and then it didn't go that way. So once you do that, you're in it. And then he didn't understand that being in it was going to be rough. And now all the clowns over there, the leaders are all saying, no, you can't. We're not going to accept it. They're openly threatening Iran, and that's kind of weird to me. They're openly threatening Iran as if Iran's going to be a little pushover. There's not many people. There's more people in Iran than in Israel. They are ready to die. And I don't think Israel is ready to be bombarded. And if they think, I think that myself, personally, I think we should just pull out. Just go. Just pack it up, jump on the aircraft carriers, bring those, or put the strike groups wherever they normally go there. If they got to sit out in the Gulf where they normally sit, let them sit there. But don't get involved with a country that they want to fight. Let them fight. Let them fight. Let Iran do what they got to do, or let Israel do what they got to do. Because basically, it's a never-ending story. It's a never-ending war. Let them fight. Let them fight. If that's what they want to do. If they want to pursue peace, pursue peace. I wouldn't trust Israel. I wouldn't trust them at all. That's going to be on you. But let them fight. So, of course, I guess Israel's going to have elections, and they're already starting to, they want to be elected. So to be elected, the candidates must state what they're going to do, and they're saying that they're ready. They're ready to take on Iran. to not let them have nuclear weapons. So to not let Iran have nuclear weapons, you're going to have to go into Iran, and good luck with that one. I wouldn't, good luck. I would just say good luck and jump on my ship and go home. You got it. Right? And then let the other countries deal with it if they want to deal with it. But as far as America is concerned, we're done. We got our own Zionist problems over here we need to deal with. So here's one of the candidates running for, who wants to run Israel, who wants to win the next election and be the leader of Israel, wants to be the next Netanyahu. He sounds like a worse clown than Netanyahu.
I believe that soon in Israel, there'll be a new government. Hopefully, I'll lead that new government. And I want to tell the Iranian regime from here, I'm going to be your worst nightmare ever. I won't relent until we free your people, ensure you don't have a nuclear weapon. So you've got no hope. We won't let up on this effort because it's fighting for our freedom, for our security, and for the benefit of the entire Middle East.
He looks like Putin, doesn't he? I'm sure he wasn't talking to Iran. I'm sure he was talking to his people. And I'm sure his people are like, whatever. I know that's basically the rhetoric that we're going to hear while they get ready for their elections. Because their knives are out for Netanyahu because he seems to have failed, or he's going to try to go after Iran now after their nuclear dust or their uranium. But that's the rhetoric. That's the rhetoric that they have right now in their elections. They think that they could take on Iran, or he's just talking. I don't. Why would you talk like that though? Especially if you're not wearing a uniform. If you're not going to go out there and fight, but definitely if you fight Iran, everybody's going to be a target. I wouldn't. I just want us to just step back. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to tag a bully. You know what I mean? Like you can't really let a bully keep going. You got to stand up and fight, period. And I think everyone in the world is getting to that point that, you know what? Go ahead and do what you got to do. I want to see it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. But you do what you want to do. Good luck with it. So I'm almost done now. I'm going to talk about, I'm trying to make these a lot shorter. They've been going like an hour and 45 minutes. I don't know what's going on with that. But I'm going to talk about just a couple more stories in the United States. I want to talk about, I'm not going to talk about data centers tonight. I do have a joke about it. But I want to definitely dedicate Friday on data centers, AI, because all I hear is about LLMs, and all I see is, what do I see? All I see is people talking about how good the code Claude is and this and that. Nobody's talking about the pain that's being inflicted upon these communities, that's going to be inflicted upon our entire country by these data centers. People, I heard a young woman came home from Georgia. She's bi-coastal. She has an apartment in Georgia, and she also has one in, she's a content creator. She also has one in California. So she comes home to her apartment in Georgia, where she hasn't been for a month. That her came home to a $600 electric bill. How is that possible? That is data centers. And that is only going to get worse. But they're not talking about that part. All they're talking about is, it's going to be so great. We're going to ask questions, blah, blah. Okay. Now, I don't use AI in the creation of my podcasts, my videos. I do my own editing. I write my own copy, and I find my own subjects to talk about. I do use Gemini for images. That's about it. I do it for images. The YouTube thumbnails, I use it for that. But I still know how to do that myself. I'm just lazy. Actually, for me, it's actually cheaper for me to use Gemini than to buy a license for Adobe Photoshop, because I know how to use Photoshop. For Adobe Photoshop, it's cheaper to just use Gemini, because right now it's very cheap. Because they're subsidizing it, but if the price goes up, I'm gonna go for something cheaper. And that's actually how it works, right? You should always be looking for the cheapest solution, and sometimes the cheapest solution is AI. right now, currently. If it goes up, it's not going to be cheap. Now, I can still do it myself. And that is the scary part about AI and the future of humanity, right? If AI starts doing, like I came up in IT back in the day when you had to do everything yourself. Like I learned Photoshop. It was a Dreamweaver for webs because we manually put together an entire website before the .com bust. And we had to do everything on ourselves by hand. There was no automation. We had to learn how to edit graphics, a lot of graphics, build web pages all day long. And I'm using, like I said, Photoshop and Dreamweaver. I think that's Dreamweaver. And it's a Photoshop product. So yeah, we didn't have any Squarespace or anything like that. We had to do everything from scratch, right? We work with I had to work with a lot of graphic artists, so I learned how to do a lot of things in Photoshop what I didn't know how to do. I had to learn from them, and they taught me, and I taught them how to do web stuff. And that's going to be gone, right? Nobody's going to know how to do that anymore. So, but it says it's going to be automated. So if it's all automated, you have to pay somebody. If you don't have the flexibility to move, to do something manually, you're going to have to pay $200 to the AI guys, right? That makes them richer. It makes you stupider. So that's the trade-off of all this AI. We're going to lose skills, and we're going to lose the ability to do these things manually that we used to take for granted, and then who's going to do them? You have to pay the AI guys to do something that you should be able to do yourself. I'm 60, so y'all going to be on your own. I like having choices, and then if it gets rough, I just can do it on my own. So that's what I suggest for anyone that's... like if you got a coding degree, code. You know what I mean? Don't just start using AI at first. Wait till you learn how to code, get a good understanding of it, and then switch over to your tools. Learn how to understand what the AI is doing, right? Like I'm in support, our help desk, in systems administration. I see that I haven't used one tool for AI in that job yet. Not one. I see them, and I have had bosses or managers try to say, use some AI. I'm like, for what? What am I going to use it for? I would use anything that's a benefit. And I've told the story about working at AWS and using us to train AI, and the AI still failing. I don't know if it's still working. I thought they laid a lot more people off in my group. So maybe it's working better. I don't know, but it didn't work before. They had to turn it off. They turned it off because it was not making things better. It was making things worse. And then they paid us overtime to try to work on training. It didn't work. We just need more training data. I'm sure as time goes on, it probably got better. But I wasn't there to see it, and I do not care. So let's talk about the United States. So they found a slush fund. Trump wanted his slush fund. Cash Patel, he already had one, and they caught him using his slush fund. He's been paying. He has a hit squad, a goon squad, people to look out for him and his little escapades, running around doing what he does, which is pretty much drinking, partying, having a good time with his girlfriend. And he was paying bonuses up to $1 million. They were getting $8,000 extra pay. And I saw that one former person when the FBI they got pushed out, he was saying it's normal to get a bonus every now and then, but not on a consistent basis. I think there's a law that they can't get that on a consistent basis. So, yeah, I would say he's in trouble. But I guess he better never leave the FBI or the regime because they're going to come for him. This was illegal.
Shocking new reporting by MS Now's Ken Delanian finds that embattled FBI Director Kash Patel stands accused of using more than $1 million in taxpayer funds to reward the FBI agents who went after Patel's enemies and who covered up Kash Patel's misbehavior in office, weakening our nation's chief law enforcement agency in the process. Our Ken Delanian reports this about a letter that ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee, Congressman Jamie Raskin sent to Kash Patel. It reads, quote, the letter says the money went to special agents serving on his director's advisory team, which Raskin's letter describes as, quote, a curated group of agents who are willing to carry out your unlawful partisan and personal orders. It went to agents on Patel's security detail, quote, circumventing the mandatory maximum pay caps established by statute. By issuing these side payments, your office may be knowingly breaking the federal law, the letter says.
So, yeah, they've been, he got a ghoul squad. So, yeah, they have been, there's a video of this day, they have been sending out, I don't know, federal agents from whatever three-letter organization out to visit people. If you are seen online posting like I post or against Israel or posting against ICE, they are visiting people and just talking to them. That's intimidation. They're using intimidation. They just locked up a bunch of people in Minneapolis, saying that they were attacking ICE, all kind of things. All those cases have been getting dismissed also. There was one gentleman who was locked up because he was protesting in front of the White House. He got out today, was saying, I'm out. They just dropped the case. So these cases aren't even real. They are trying to run the country like like it's their own little fiefdom, but then the law is there. They're trying to scare you. You know, the guy who had the visit today, he just was yelling at them, don't come in my yard. I'm not talking to you. I haven't done anything wrong. Why are you here? And eventually they left. But the reason that they don't really aren't there really to arrest you. They're there to intimidate you. This is where we are in this country right now. We have a FBI director who has a slush fund to pay his detail to cover up when he visits the pool room in Vegas, and they're out running around trying to intimidate people. And we're going to see more and more of that as we get closer and closer to the election, as you know, because we have a problem. So I think I have one more to talk about. I think, yeah. Hold tight 1 second. I think I do. Yeah, it's about ICE. ICE got caught. So we knew that this whole thing was a grift, right? We knew that the most of that billions of dollars needed to take care of the immigrants, and they have like 60, 70,000 people in detention now, people that were out working, building a life for themselves while they waited for asylum or some other judgment, or maybe they were married, but they were in the country legally, but they just decided to just lock everyone up because that's money, right? Billions of dollars. Basically, I've talked about it before where they found some emails, from the private prison groups to Holman, the DHS, ICE, saying that we need more bodies. We need more bodies. So now they've been caught actually in fraud, billing the government before they even had people in detention. And they're also were billing people for maintenance, like cleaning, janitorial duties, but they aren't really. They're making the detainees, the immigrants, actually do the work for $1 a day. So they're on maximum grift right now. And why would you not be if there's a big gigantic pool of money sitting there to get? Wouldn't you just go for that money if you're crooked? And these are the most crooked people ever. So yeah, that's what they're doing right now. And they've been caught red-handed. I don't know, like, this is another thing. They can get off because the president don't care. Russell Vought doesn't care. The report came out of the GAO. I'm shocked that stuff like this still gets out. I mean, I guess people still have a job. I don't know what happens to the people after they do these reports, but we'll see what happens. We know this is another reason why we need to win the election. I mean, the midterms, and why we need the Democrats. We need the Democrats to just what you gonna do? They have that whole thing about what the women. Would you go in the woods with the bear or the man? They choose the bear because you know what the bear gonna do. right? I know what Republic is about, right? They're about hate. They're about graft. They're about taking away rights from women. They're about white male patriarchy. That's what they're about. So that's easy. But then you have the Democrats. You do not know what kind of Democrats you're dealing with. You have to research them. You have to research where their money comes from. You have to research if they're even a Democrat, because a lot of Republicans will switch if they see a better seat or a better way to get elected. They'll switch to a Democrat. I'm kind of concerned about Spanberger in Virginia, but they'll switch. So, and Democrats we're trusting, right? Because we believe like the liberalism, right? We believe in, equal rights, supposedly. We believe in gay rights. We believe in equal marriage, transgender rights, all that stuff under the sun, right? We believe in black people being treated like humans, sort of. But it's a given that you have a better shake or supposedly you have a better shake dealing with the Democrats than dealing with Republicans. Supposedly. So we're finding out something different though. Even there's different shades local. It's different from local is different from national on the Fed level, because a lot of them, they're only in there to get money for Israel. We're finding out more and more. So this is where we are.
The evidence of what I have been saying for months is in this GAO report. Of the tens of millions of dollars of waste, American taxpayer dollars, money that went into a private contractor's pocket for food during a time when there were 0 detainees at Camp East, Montana. 3 meals a day, 4 weeks, 0 detainees, but the private contractor got their money. I think we should go after that money.
Yes, ma'am.
And I will tell you, it's the GAO report, as damning and explosive as it is the tip of the iceberg. In addition to meals that the federal government, that the American taxpayer has paid for that weren't necessary because there were no detainees.
That's fraud.
We are also paying for janitorial services at that facility. And guess what? The detainees clean their own pods. We are also paying for laundry services at that facility. And I have gone to that facility multiple times and have seen with my own eyes that the detainees wash their own clothes in the sink.
Damn,
I wish I had a sugar packet. Let's pretend this is a sugar packet. But the men and women there get soap about the size of this packet daily to shower. And for women, I mean, ladies, that's shampoo and body wash. But because the laundry services are not happening, they would rather use the packet of their shampoo to launder their own clothes.
Yeah, this is slavery.
And we're paying for that. The American taxpayer is paying for that. Let's go after the money that contractor pocketed for the food. I'm going to urge the GAO to look into what's happening with laundry and cleaning. This is fraud.
Period. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like this election is so important because these people are being tortured in these camps, and we need to stop the games, Democrats. Stop the games of where your money coming from. If you don't want to raise money from your people, stop running. There are people who want to run grassroots campaigns, who want to actually do the work and not do the work of the corporations and the PACs, AIPAC, whatever PAC. They want to actually help the people who put them in office, who voted for them. We're not rich. We're not billionaires. We just need you to support us. If you don't want to support us, just step aside and let the people who do get in office. Please, this is serious. That's gonna be it for the serious stuff. So let's go into some hope. I got a joke. I saw a joke about data centers and AI. This guy's funny. I think I played him before. yeah, it's funny. And then we got some spoken word. And then we gonna go out with some go-go, of course. All right, here goes some hope. Here comes a very funny joke. I think it's funny anyway. Tell me what she think. If I can find it, it's right there. Yep, here you go.
I don't like AI. I don't like AI. I don't like AI. I don't like AI. I don't like Sam Altman. I don't like AI. AI as a tool is used to make you fucking dumber, stupider, and less equipped. There are some things that you can use AI for. Niggas be using it for shit that is not perfectly fine, man. If you are asking an AI bot to draw you some shit, brother, please go draw that shit on your own, man. Please don't pay this damn bot to steal niggas' work and give it back to you, bro. Why are you paying for the bot? Pay for the artist, nigga. What? I hate AI. I hate it. I hate it. I hate what it's doing to the economy. I hate what it's doing to the fucking ecosystem, man. I hate what it's doing to niggas' minds. If you don't think this shit is gonna kill black people, bro, it's already doing it. They're using partial matches to go grab niggas from other states saying the AI said you did this in this state. Nigga never been there. They're just using the flock cameras to put mics right next to your home, cameras right next to your home. The end of the world is coming because rich niggas will have full autonomy over like all of our information and know exactly what we're doing down to the last minute detail, which they already do, but you know, there's never enough. Why stop at knowing what you're Googling when I can have a mic in your fucking house? And I can know exactly what you're talking about with your home. I can know what stroke pattern you want. Why stop at browsing history when I can know what kind of soap you fucking using? I can know if you washed your ass or not. I fucking wish the end of the world was something way more cooler, like them niggas using the AI to actually make the fucking Terminator. Cause at least it's fucking cool when a T fucking 4200 takes a damn laser fist and fucks my ass with it, bro. At least I can be cool with that. It looks cool. He's shiny. His fist is red. But I can't. I gotta sit here and look at them basically about to burn fucking libraries and sell us the information back. I gotta look at the end of the world from that view. No Terminator. Sorry, buddy. Nothing cool for the end of your fucking life, man. Just pollution. If I can see a fucking giant metal skull 80 feet in the air scanning niggas, that's what I would like. At least it looks cool, bro. Shit coming to a town near you. Nigga, they'll build a data center in your ass. Bro, I'm trying to see who gonna win the race. More Dollar Generals or more fucking data centers? Data centers just started happening a little bit ago and they already catching up. They're burning shit up, bro. Fucking up the water, bro. Oopsies. We weren't supposed to be connected to that aquifer. Whoopsies. Water's gonna be brown now. Haha. Property value gone. Whoopsies. Zoning laws? Haha. No. I had a delivery to one of them shits. I was ready to beat the fuck out the man in there. Boom. Park the truck. Get out. Knock on the door. Da-da-da. You gotta tap the badge. Da-da-da. Okay. What the fuck? Get in there. I put the packages down. I'm getting ready to leave, so I walk out behind the dude. He like, yo, dog, yo, you can't walk out on somebody's badge, bro. I gotta let you out. Nigga, I don't fucking work here, man. Are you niggas in here losing brain cells to the AIs? That shit fucking absorbing your brain, man? I don't fucking work here. What, are you gonna fire me? I went to take a picture and she said, oh, no pictures, dog. Nigga, fuck you, boy. I'll come back in this bitch with the cannon. The camera, not the gun. I'm not shooting the building up. White dude walked back in there and was like, who just walked out on my badge? Nigga, I did. What? I'm supposed to be scared of you, Jim Bob? You'll get downloaded in this bitch.
So that was funny as hell because, like I said, I worked the data centers, and data centers are secure. It's like to get in the data center, it is a whole hand scan. Like you have to, it's a whole hand scan, and you got to hold it only, and it's your palm. It's your whole hand scan. I hated that thing just to get in the door. Then you go to the badge, the security desk. You have to give your ID, get your temporary badge, right? Then you got to go through another door, and this is a dead man door, meaning that you go in one side, it closes, you're in like a circle, and the floor is like checking your weight, and then you got to do the hand thing again, and the other side opens. I have been stuck in that thing and couldn't get out because the hand thing doesn't work very well. Maybe they're better now, but back then they weren't that good. And that was just a pain in the ass. And that was my job, actually. For some reason, they would come to me. Whenever you had to have people visit or vendors meet down there, you had to call it down, give them their information, let them know who's coming with you, and they all have to make sure they have their IDs and all that stuff, or they're not getting in the building. That was fun. But that was a funny joke. They are serious like that about getting those buildings. They act like the little, the police. It's a data center. And there's big companies in there. I saw the cage for like Netflix and all that kind of stuff. And they do very good work. They do very good cabling. Our cabling wasn't as good. But we got it better. But these like I've been telling people, these other new data centers are completely different. Completely different. they're worse. I did talk about the engineering of those, and they say that 40% of the power is the cooling. That's how bad it is. So we're gonna go ahead and listen to the spoken word. I went back to one of my go-tos because I just needed something special, and I went and found something special. I'm gonna pronounce her name correctly. This is very, very, very special. She's a very, very special person, and anytime I don't have to listen to all her stuff either. So we're gonna listen to it little by little, and then really when we need to pick me up, this is what we're gonna play. Kira J.
But it had to be at the right time because so many people jump into love while their lives are still unsteady and ruin the best thing that ever happened to them because they were unready. But God made sure I was ready for a love that could shake me to my soul, because the only way we last in love is if I came in whole. And I say this with whole confidence that God sent you without a doubt. And he wasn't gonna let me mess this up because of the stuff I had to figure out. I believe God fixed me just for you. I know that's dangerous to say, but he wanted me to experience the joy and being loved on the right way. And right away I fell into you. Our souls are so in tune that I know I'm loving you straight from my heart instead of from my wounds. A healthy love, a love that opens you up to a person you've never been. A love that challenges everything you thought you knew when it comes to loving men. A love that makes you believe in love again. After experiencing so much hate, God wanted me to have the type of love that makes you believe in fate. This shit was fate. I have no doubt in that. I can tell by the way you love me. And every day I wake up next to you, I thank the man above me. The type of love we have is so holy that it took years of self-work to achieve. But anything is possible with God, my love. Just as long as you believe. So do you believe?
How would you not believe?
If you're by yourself, like, you won't get more lonely.
Why do you think I'm lonely, though?
Because you have a honey.
I haven't had a honey since I had you, and I've been fine. I'm okay.
But Mama,
just because you're alone, that does not mean you're lonely.
We're not a family without a daddy.
Okay, so you want me to get a honey so you can have a dad?
We need one of those families that are like together.
A family that's together. So like a stepdad is what you're saying. So you want me to get a honey so you can have a stepdad? All right, you got it. I'll start to looking.
Yeah, I pray that you have a love like that one day. Her vulnerability is what really brings those out. I pray that you find that love one day too. It's special. Make sure you're ready. Make sure you're ready. Because you don't want to lose it. Because when you lose it, you're going to be looking like me. All right, that's it. I'm out. I'll see y'all on Friday. And I think I want to concentrate on data centers. Thank you for being here and watching this video. Please listen to this go-go. So, yeah. If you in Maryland, vote. Do your thing. Vote your conscience. I've already said that I'm not voting for an AIPAC candidate. Never again. I meant to talk about something else. I'll talk about it next week. But I'm not going to, never again. It's got to be a red line. Because the whole thing is, the people were telling us last time about the, they weren't going to vote because they weren't going to vote for Kamala because Joe Biden's a Zionist. He was giving all them weapons and he didn't care about the genocide. So, and I was like, oh no, please, we just got to win. And we didn't win. And we're still in the same position. So we have to get rid of the Zionist problem. And that's going to be that. So we're going to listen to some go-go. What you want to hear? You want to hear some go-go? All right. Here's some go-go. This is going to be good. This is good. This is going to be the son of a legend, Go-Go Mickey. This is going to be Lil Mickey, his son, on the Congos. And the Congos are a special thing in go-go. Look at that. He is just like his father. So the go-go back in the day, you would be at the club and they'd be going, Go-Go Mickey, Go-Go Mickey. Take it. Go, Mickey.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm gonna let this play out. I hope I don't get banned though. This strike. I don't know him. I remember Foots. And that was EU. I think maybe it was Rare Essence. That's my time. Alright, y'all. I'm out. See y'all on Friday. Be safe. Be great. Be strong. Be brave. Be all the things.